What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.
Greetings to you, fellow citizens. This morning, I want to speak to you on a very sensitive subject, but I want you to pay attention. And I want to use a very simple language, and most times narabo mfiako for my local native language, so that mfwe. You know, Balandati, the Bible says, my people perished because of lack of knowledge. For even in Zambia, we have not invested in acquiring knowledge. That is why abantu balatubepaika. Sadly enough, ukubepaika oku na kuma students, intellectuals. I've seen with sadness my fellow young people in universities balebabepa. And you know, over time we've learned that by UPN they are very canny people. You know, I think that they trade on lies and deception. So, like they say, atubushikubu firensofu, nedi ashiribako, di ashiriansofu. Ilelo, the topic in the community is about the constitution. Okubalandiro kwebati ba UPND, balefo kuchinja olupapulo lwachalo nangula constitution. Okay, nomba ndefu amukutike sana pali lili ashiria constitution because ba UPND filanandile balite muobufi, and so nababepa mwebengi to believe they are very honest in this matter. Now, first of all, you wish to know that abenebeka bale irufianya no kuirufianya the president, minister of home affairs uyo na tukwata draft constitution. Ba minister of justice abo pativi madonota tukwete draft constitution. So muchingiliremo uyalanda na tukwata draft itakwete draft. So ichishinga chili pesa epa kwambira popene mwambo kuchita question. Because nga chachi neba bali kwate chishinga, they would have produced yo in a draft constitution pakuti abantu tumone finch balefo kuchinja mulupapulo lwachalo. Now I'll tell you something, and this is where the catch is. Now, but or rather, they've driven us to a point where we are suspecting once to focus at Valefoku Chinja, Valefoku Fumiamo 50+1. They want to remove the running clause from the constitution. They want to, kufumiako term limit, President Hakainde Hichilema, Valefo abaka lundeko na time term period from 5 to 7 years. So most of us who are arguing about the constitution now, constitution, we are focusing on the possibilities of UPN touching on these very important clauses. But I will tell you, UPN change, but you see reading their maneuvers. They are not even going to bring those things. They will not even touch on the running mate. They will not even touch on 50+1. They will not even touch on term limits, and stuff like that. The focus of the UPND is on delimitation. Alright? But the focus yabo ni pari delimitation. Mungu fuishe wino sana. Delimitation means ama constituents to ya putaule so that we can deliver development to the areas that apparently are big. And everyone is excited to want to delimitate because we want to have, services delivered. But hear me right. Delimitation is not the only way you can deliver, services or development to communities. You can also, create districts like Basata started, where he created a number of districts. When you create a district, it means that you have to deliver development there. And the president, with or without amending the constitution, can still use that power given to him to create more districts in places that are vast, so that development can go into those, places. But you see what they are trying to do is to cover us, to hoodwink us to believe that no, we want to take development to places. So Abale Kanya amendment, they are enemies of progress or development. Now this is a catch. Delimitation is dependent not on the size of constituencies. You should mark this. Delimitation is centered or dependent on population. The bigger the population, the need for that constituents to be delimited so that development can go to the people. Tetume umpange constituents umushaba abantu. All right, Moayamu Desert. Yes, the land, the place is big. More about desert, but you can't create a constituency. So you create more constituents depending on population. Right now, the country has just been discussing the issue of the census, because the census is what should inform you what the population looks like. Zambia, not long ago, I think 3-4 weeks ago, there was a story of by UPND that dispute the census report, which was produced by Central Statistics Office, by Zamstat. And who are Canada? No, tetumupere census because Southern Quad it was Beani, who is the chairperson of the Civil Service Commission. Adi Kana Sanatawa went to Southern Province chairperson. He specifically mentioned Southern Province. Now, when you interrogate the census that has been produced by Zamstat, you will notice that the strongholds of UPND has demonstrated significant population increase. Southern has increased, Western has increased, Northwestern, and part of Central. Some of the constituents, like where I come from, Kuluapula, the growth has not been there. Because I can tell you, for all those who have been following history, Luapula, in terms of size, population size, na Northwestern Province, Luapula is actually a little bigger than Northwestern Province. But Lelomo Alasangat Northwestern is much bigger than Luapula in terms of population size. Now, that population report is what is going to inform or decide or dictate the decision on delimitation. So you'll find that Abanesu, they will create more constituencies where they are strong. Why? Because they know that in the next election of 2026, they will not have numbers. In Osaka, they will not have numbers. They will not have numbers on the Copper Belt and most areas. So they would want to create more constituencies such that Nangbalubana, Amanamba Parliament Naba Kwata. Now, you ask yourself, that same parliament you want to create more constituencies. Taya kwatana room for expansion. Tuikalakwati ninko kom parliament, tulachitikana muda mwari monate. There's no room to create, say, 20, 30 more, seats in that parliament, unless the building was more, altered to create more spaces. But we are so in a hurry that before 2026, we must create more constituencies in the name of we want to deliver development. Development can be delivered with or without delimitation. All right, you can create districts. But President now they can declare, in a district to apangira puapa to aputaula kuapa, and development can come faster through that decree. But the catch in the UPND, that's why Bala Mizembeleka Namayo. No, we want to include more women in parliament. We want to include youth in parliament. We want to include the disabled in parliament. Yet alone, ababantu balikwata maka even now to have included more people in governance. Why didn't UPND adopt more youths? All right? Why didn't UPND adopt more women? Why didn't UPND adopt even one disabled person? Because at least PF adopt a disabled in Chasef. By PF at least adopt a disabled in Kawambwa. Even though one has actually even been taken out. So people that will love you, when the president was nominating people, he had 8, MPs to nominate. Why didn't he nominate a youth if he loves the young people? Why didn't he nominate the disabled? Because he had 8 slots. Okay? No, we want to create seats for disabled. We want to create seats for the youth. We want to create seats for the women. Why didn't they demonstrate that love? Why have they not appointed young people in cabinet? Look at that cabinet of President HH. Nina musepera wabamo. Lelo ba youth bese bamizembele koko bati bali mitemwa. Bachinje constitution so that bamiperi amaka. The current constitution does not stop young people from going to parliament. That is why if you look at that parliament, there are young people there. They had to fight their way because they could not be recognized by political parties. So by youth unomukulo notu kumizembele katyo tupange tuchite amend constitution tumitwale ku parliament, you can actually take yourselves into parliament. Join in future you are going to go to parliament in 2026. Not if for mizembele ko kubomfia constitution. The catch in the constitution is that they want to create more constituencies, and they will use the bogus census report which would dictate where they can create more constituents. If they are to proceed, they must, first of all, we must have an audit of that census, because that census was questioned by themselves, by UPND. It's bogus. So we must, first of all, have an independent organization to look at that census to verify its authenticity. Okay? Because otherwise, we are going to be basing on fictitious statistics as a basis for us to create more constituencies. The UPND right now, they must come out and say, these are the proposed delimitation we want to do. Okay, okoko turefu kupanga ma constituency kuno tumone hapa pene, because what they want to do, I will tell you, is to create more constituencies in places where they are strong, and they will use the population as the basis, and they will use that same bogus disputed census report as the basis for determining which areas are more populated, hence requiring to be delimited. Mwewe na Zambia, open your minds. Apa But if I ukumibepa, the same way they've been deceiving you over the years, making fake promises that they cannot fulfill, they think, you know, by UPND, sana. They think that we are very doubtful even as Zambia. Everyone by UPND. Not this time. Not this time. That is why you fellow citizens, as you interrogate or discuss this constitution amendment, proposal, don't even focus on issues, running mate, 50+1. They are not there. In fact, they will come to you and say, Mwamuna, we listen to people, we have not included the Chitatubikilemo, if you are Tatufumisheko 50+1, Tatufumisheko if you are running mate, but their focus is delimitation. And they have included proportionate representation so that bachibonfye mukumizembeleka ba youth, kuzembeleka ba youth, kuzembeleka ba namayo, no kuzembeleka the disabled. If indeed they loved you, they would have included you, because the current constitution does not stop young people, women, and the disabled to be in that parliament. Let alone, the president has got powers to have included youths in his cabinet, women in his cabinet, more women, and the disabled. Why is it that when they have the power, they've not considered you, the special groups? The catch is in delimitation. That is why they will go to great length to amend the constitution. Nyapa, apa komaila nondobane, ninshap epali ubulema. The elephant in the room, as the English would put it, is a delimitation. That's the catch. Inefyo Nchita is simply to speak to these things so that I open up your mind, but I can now invite you to start interrogating this issue. Mwebe ne mwala sanga answer. As for me, I cannot be deceived. Bufisana pata, isana Binwell Mpundu, I cannot be deceived. UPND, be careful. I am watching.
Thanks for tuning in to JQ News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.